Welcome back to Testing Guru channel. Um, as we are learning about API testing and the Postman tool, in the last session, like we have learned about what is the different basic concepts about API testing, and also we have learned like where to download the Postman and why we use it. Uh, I mean, so as a continuation of that Postman, today we will learn different options which is available in Postman, so that you can aware about how to use that Postman. So to use that, we should know first what are the different options available in the Postman, so that we can use that better. The Postman, and also like we will go more in detail using hands-on. That time also these things will be useful. So first thing will be a new option. There is a new option will be available in Postman. Whenever you download, you can see there is an option of new. So this new is used to create a new collection or new API. So that's why we use to create a new request or a collection or an environment, this new option. And second option is like import. This is used to import the collection or the environment. There are options such as import from file, folder, link, or a paste a raw text. So this is how we do a import. And in the tool you can see after the new there is an import option available. Okay, and run collection usually like when you want to automation test can be executed through the run collection runner, and this will be discussed in the next session, like how we run it. I will show you there. And next is like open a new, this opens a new tab, the Postman window, a runner window, by clicking this button. Okay, there are different plus options which will also opens a new option. Okay, and also my workspace is like the workspace of an individual team, like where they work on it. So this particular area is called a workspace, where we provide the request, the parameters or the response what we get. All this area is like workspace. Okay, and next is like invite. This will be used for the collaboration or inviting the team. We'll have an option to invite when we have logged in as our user. And the request tab is the particularly this tab. I can show you this particular tab. Okay, so this, whenever we click on the new request, so this request tab will get open. Okay, this displays the title of the request by working, and by default untitled request, and would be displayed for the request without titles. So I have just shown you, when I click on new, it's opening an untitled request. So we can save it with a respective API specific names with the request on the request tab. And also we have options of HTTP request. By clicking, it will show the drop down list of the different kinds of requests, like get, post, copy, delete, etc. That also I can show you here. There is an option, by default it shows a get, but we have a different option to change it, like post, put, patch, delete, copy. All those different options supports by Postman, supported by Postman. And next I'm just showing you here in the screenshot, like where we see the new option and import, then runner or the workspace. Okay, and also like untitled request, as we see just now, and the different types of requests like get, post, put, delete. And coming to the next option, that is a request URL. This is also known as endpoint. This is where you will identify the link to where the API will be communicated with. So this is the request URL, and in the Postman you can see enter the request URL. So this is where you enter it. Okay, and the save button, if there are changes into the request, and by clicking the save, it must save new changes and it will not lost or overwritten. So whenever you want to save the particular API, you can save it with a save button. Here there is an option to save it. Okay, and next is like parameters. This is where you will write a parameters needed for the request, such as key values, and here you can see the params, key and value, so you can provide the what is the key and the value for that particular request. And next one is authorization. In order to access the API, proper authorization needed. It may be in the form of like username, password, or a bearer token. So there are different types of authorizations, and in one of the sessions, like I have explained what is authorization and what are the different authorizations are available, and those authorizations like we have to provide here if the API, I mean API supports the authorization. And in Postman also, like we have different kinds of authorizations which supports. So here if you click on it, so you can see inherit auth from the parent, and if there is no auth, we just have to give no auth, and it doesn't no, it doesn't need any auth for that particular API. And some APIs will have a API key, for example AWS or like any tool you are using, which is the cloud base. So those things will have API key, like AWS or Azure. So those keys we can use it in as a part of API key. And bearer token, basic auth, digest auth, OAuth. So all those things like we have learned what actually this means, and if in details like also like we will use whenever there is such request comes in the as a hands-on. Okay, and next one is header. You can set the header such as a content type, JSON, depending on the need of the organization. So we have header option available. So here we can set up the content type. So with that also has a like key value pair option. Okay, and next one is the body, and where we can customize the details of the request. Commonly body will be used in the post request, post and put kind of request, where we can modify that particular or create a new request or modify it. So that time we provide the body. So here there is an option to give a body, and here we give that particular body in different formats like raw, binary, or if you don't have any specific format, you can give just none. And next one is prerequisite scripts. So there are scripts that will be executed before the request. So some things like we need to execute before the that particular API runs, so that we can handle with a prerequisite script. And usually requisite scripts for the setting environments are used to ensure that tests will be run on the correct environment. So if we want to have a specific environment to be set, so those things we can handle with the prerequisite scripts. Okay, so next one, next time I just show you where this prerequisite and how it looks. And next one is like tests. These test scripts are executed during the request. So whenever we want to run the test, and then we can save these tests here. There is a test request. Okay, and there is a specific format also, like we have to give, then only it will identify those tests, and it will give the results. Okay, it is an important to have the test as a setup and a checkpoint to verify the response is status is okay. This is a basic test we need to at least have for any kind of API request, to check the response code as okay. And also we need to check the retrieved data is expected or not as a part of test. Okay, so these are the main options of the Postman tool. So we'll learn more about the get request in the next session. And thanks for watching, and if you have not subscribed for the Testing Guru yet, you can subscribe, and you get a notification of the next session. And thanks for watching.